Welcome in, everybody. It's the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I am Greg, and I am being joined by the juiciest, most dry-hopped buff guy on the Midwest, and that's Flex. What's up, big fella?
I am juicy.
You're very juicy, with notes of tropical.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Sounds like I need a vacation.
Oh, dude, you're telling me. I need to go somewhere not Florida for vacation.
Oh, boy.
Get to that in a couple of you.
It's already starting.
Oh, fuck Florida. Follow us on the socials at Craft Beer Republic, at Flex, maybe beer underscores in between. And of course, 805-538-BEER-2337. Shout out to our top listening city last week, and that is Trenton, New Jersey.
What up?
What up, New J? That's what they call it now.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, don't ask more questions, but absolutely.
Okay. I'm convinced.
Yeah, we got some booze news to get to, ludicrous libation law, and what Flex is most excited for, my trip to Florida.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. You literally didn't tell me anything.
I really haven't. Usually we talk things out. I've told you almost nothing about my trip to Florida, so
very excited about this.
We'll get right into it. Before we do, Flex is waiting to drink his beer until he reviews it because he's so excited for it.
Well, it's not that I'm excited. It's that it smells really good.
Amazing. And it's gorgeous.
And I just don't want it to I don't know. I'm nervous.
So I was going to go first because I need the beer before I talk about Florida. But I don't want you to sit there and not drink your beer. So let's find out what Flex is drinking.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
All right, so we've had multiple versions of this beer on the show. It's a series, long-running series. I thought it was going to end at 5. Apparently, they are on 8.
The beat goes on.
Flex is drinking Voltron Defender of the Universe Volume 8 from Four Hands Brewing out of St. Louis, Missouri, which I had the pleasure of visiting last summer.
Oh.
And this is always a collaboration beer. And this time, they collaborated with an in-state fella, Three Sheeps Brewing, up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Not to be confused with Heboygan, Wisconsin.
Yes, very different.
So I would say relatively new beer. 674 ratings on a tap. That's 674. And a collective 399. So now my hopes are, they're getting a little bit up there. I don't know why I talked like that. This Nobody is a does. Hazy IPA in IPA. And it says it has Sultana, Strata, and Mosaic hops. And I believe Sultana are the artists formerly known as Denali hops.
Oh.
You can fact check me on that. I didn't even look it up. I just made it up. The old Untaparoo here says the 8th release in a series of collaborations with breweries from around the country to bring the mighty Voltron to life. Voltron Volume 8 is a juicy, hazy IPA brewed with Three Sheeps Brewing in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Hopped with a blend of Sultana, Strata, and Mosaic hops, this tropical juice bomb boasts bold notes of pineapple, passion fruit, citrus, and blueberry that soar from a malt base composed of pale malt, white wheat, and flaked oats. So, I was big on the pineapple because I was telling Greg, my co-host here.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, Greg. I
Welcome
cracked this beer and I poured it before the show. And it smelled so good. It smelled like fresh, ripe pineapple. Like you just cut it up and took a big whiff of the bowl. And it was just, it got my hopes so high that I was actually afraid to drink the beer. So I said that I wasn't going to drink the beer till the show started. So
here we are.
We will start with a little bit of the nosebuds. See what's dancing on those fellas.
Hashtag nosebuds. And you're right, by the way. Sultana, formerly known as Denali, or experimental hop 06277.
I didn't know that one, but look at me. Look at me go. I know those things. So it's a nice looking beer.
Great looking color.
Definitely still is a little bit ahead. It's been poured for about, I don't know, 10 or so minutes.
Sure.
So on the nose buds, it's definitely still heaps of that fresh pineapple. Now that it's warmed up a little bit, you get a little bit of the malt base coming through. Fingers crossed that that's not going to come through on the palate.
Mm-hmm.
But without further ado, warm up the old tongue jobber.
Batch 367, 406, and 456 are the other times we drink Voltron.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, that face. Oh no. I wish you guys could see this.
No, that was. We're gonna try this one more time.
One more again.
Not okay. We're gonna try this now again.
Take two. Go.
It's a beer.
Oh no. So much excitement.
Oh, that is
so much build.
Huge bummer.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. They said bold notes of pineapple. No. The passion fruit. No. I said citrus. I didn't get none of that. Blueberry. No, I didn't get that. It's really bitter and it like hits you late.
Oh no.
And it's on my tongue and I kind of want to pour it down the drain.
Wow.
Yeah, this is.
I'd say that's the last Voltron that you'll be having.
Why couldn't it just be a single can?
That's funny.
It's a bummer. I mean, Grant, this is only like $12.49 for the 4-pack, so like
not
I can't
bad.
complain.
Oh, time to plug and chug.
But this is just not. It's not what I wanted.
No, daddy.
Yeah, I've had really good offerings from both of these breweries, so this is maybe a bad can ?
Yeah, maybe one of the other three will be not a drain pour.
Yeah, maybe I'll just give them away. Haven't decided yet.
Some unsuspecting fool.
Yeah, maybe they'll think it's okay. I don't know.
Maybe.
But hey, at least the can's cool.
There is that. Sweet can art. All right, well.
Wonder if I can scrape this off my tongue before I go to bed.
Oof. I'll see if we can move on from that gracefully.
Yeah. How do we segue from this?
I don't know, man. That sounds awful.
Florida. How was Florida?
Hey, speaking of awful.
There we go.
Let's talk about Florida. So I think I've talked about leading up to this a couple of times on the show. Had to go out for a stupid high school graduation. One of the wife's family, nephews, people. And first of all, to me, in like high school, we're flying across country for a high school graduation.
That's crazy. That you told me this.
Yeah.
And I
like,
thought that was astounding.
Isn't finishing high school just a legal requirement?
Yeah, like
maybe not in Florida. I don't know.
You almost like you have to like not try to do it.
Right. Because I did pretty good at not trying and still graduated high school.
Exactly. It's
not with flying colors, but still graduated.
You do it.
I did it. So we had to do that. We took a red eye Wednesday night and the graduation was Thursday morning at 11 a.m. We landed Thursday morning at like 7:30.
Rough.
I'm such a bad sleeper on planes, and this was no exception. In fact, this was one of the worst red eyes for me that I've ever taken. I got about 30 minutes of sleep. So we land, we get the car, we found this actually really cool breakfast spot. Ate some breakfast, had like 900 cups of coffee while I was there. Like the guy, he brought the coffee, and after the first one was gone in about 48 seconds, he was real Southern and great. He was funny, but he's like, oh my God, I'm not doing my job. And like comes over with more coffee. And I said, but if you just want to leave that there, like I wouldn't be mad. I can pour it myself. He's like, no, I'm supposed to. I was like, then you're going to be getting your steps in today because I'm going to be needing some coffee.
Can I ask you a question quick? I don't want to interrupt too much.
Please. No.
How do you feel about them refilling your half cup of coffee?
Oh, it throws off my cream ratio.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Let me finish my cup before you bring it over to refill. Because otherwise you are screwed. everything up, man.
Yeah. If I see him coming with it, I'll pound it.
Interesting.
Like if it's half or less than half, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Fuck. And then I'll pound it so I can start over with the race. So did that, went to graduation after that. After we landed, got breakfast. It was time for graduation. Went to graduation. It was 90 fucking degrees out.
Gross.
And 95% humidity.
Gross.
We were at this like amphitheater thing that luckily had like sails, like shade sails, you know.
Oh,
it wasn't
that's
hard.
nice.
Yeah, it wasn't hard. But when it's 95% humidity and the air's not fucking moving, it was just like living in a mouth.
Right. Things are getting sticky.
Oh, it was sticky and sweaty and like legitimate. At least 3 people were carried on a stretcher by the end of it.
Come on.
Yeah, due to the heat.
You're serious?
Yeah. No, seriously. Old people were getting carried on stretchers. I saw at least 3. In fact, the wife's mom was getting really bad at one point, and she like, go run up ahead and start the car and get the AC running. So like I did, I ran up, got the car going. We had bought a case of waters.
You said, but honey, the knees.
At least I didn't have to get up off the ground. Oh, that was an off-air conversation. And so like got some bottles of water for everybody. It got a little dicey, but yeah, so that was awful. It was hot as balls, just fucking dripping. Then afterwards, so this was a weird one for me. Afterwards, give me your opinion. We went to lunch. She was like, hey, graduation lunch at this restaurant. Okay, great. Huge chain restaurant in that area. I was like, oh, super fun. We're going on vacation. Vacation in quotes. It's not a vacation. We're going on a trip and we eat at all these chain restaurants. We get there, we order, we're eating. And at one point, the waiter went up to the father of the graduate and said something. We didn't know what. It was a big table. And then the waiter comes over to everybody and starts asking how we want to split the bill.
Okay.
And whatever. I can pay for my own meal. I'm not mad that I have to pay for my own meal. I did think it was weird that you've asked me to come to this graduation lunch and you're not covering it. Is that me?
No, that's kind of weird.
Right? It's not like I asked, can we go to graduation lunch?
Because it's not like you flew halfway across the country. You flew the entire way across the country.
Yeah, all the way. California to Florida.
I do think that's a bit bizarre.
I just, like when I graduated.
And you were invited to the lunch. It's not like, hey, we're going to go to this, come with.
Exactly. Yeah, it wasn't like a whoever wants to feel free. It was, this is what we're doing after the graduation ceremony. We have reservations, be there by this time, so on and so forth. So I thought that was weird. Like at my graduation, I can't remember high school, but definitely college graduation. It was like, you know, it was paid for by my parents because that's what you do. Anyways, whatever. So that was Thursday, Friday. I mean, every day we were there was hot as balls, humid as balls. We went to a couple places for, to eat. We were with family. It was the wife's family. So I just kind of had to turn off my caring about where we were going because like we kept going to these chain restaurants. Nobody wanted to be minutely adventurous with their food. And I'm like in a new area. Let's try some local cuisine.
Right. How often are you there?
Hopefully never again.
Damn it.
So, the food was just mediocre and there was nothing to do because all they have to do is either like outdoorsy things where you sweat your balls off.
Now, where were you exactly in Florida?
We were in St. Pete for the most part.
Okay.
St. Pete, Florida, which is outside of Tampa. And the old people were too old to be walking around in the heat. They were fucking passing out. And we didn't want to do, museum after museums. And we even told them like, hey, you guys go do a museum if you want to do a museum. No, we want to do whatever you want to do. I'm like, bitch, I want to get hammered. Forget that I'm in Florida.
Do you not know who I am?
Right. So it was a lot of like arguing about where we were going, sweating our balls off. The first night there, so Thursday night we go out to dinner and we go to pay for parking. It's one of those things like, hey, get your license plate and go pay for your parking at the machine. We're paying for parking the machine and we see the guy coming around giving tickets to people like he's on it. And we go and we have dinner and we come back. And we came back, there was a parking ticket on our rental car. And I looked at the time. The time on the parking ticket was 8:23. The time on my receipt from the parking thing was 8:24. This motherfucker gave me a ticket while I was filling out the parking machine.
Come on.
So then we had to next day go to the fucking, here's how often they do this. They have an office off of their city hall just for parking tickets, not the police station, not a general city hall office. It is specifically for parking tickets. And so we went into this and I said to the lady, I was like, hey, I got a parking ticket while I was paying for parking, trying to do the right thing here. I said, you can look at my receipt, 823, 824. She goes, let me have a look. To her credit, extremely friendly and was like, no problem. We're going to void this out. I was like, is the rental company going to know? She's like, they'll never find out. My wife wanted to get a couple words in. She goes, and we saw him doing this and we were paying and maybe he needs to blah, blah, blah. And she goes, I'm going to void your ticket. And I was like, just let her void the ticket. Yeah. We'll never come back here.
Pipe
like,
down.
Yeah. Like I'm look, normally I'm totally with her. Like, let's fucking bitch and let them know that fuck you, Florida. Cause fuck you, Florida. But I was like, let's just not have to pay for the ticket. And they do that thing where like the parking ticket was only like $25, where it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's low enough to where I'll just pay it so I don't have to waste my time.
Yeah.
But it was a matter of principle at this point. Fuck you.
I'm a big fan of principle.
Yeah. Not principles, but principle.
Yes. Well,
yes.
What you said.
So anyways, got that voided, went on with our day of just eating too much food. And the one family member who lives there was impossible for suggestions. It was like, hey, what do you think we should do if we want to do X, Y, and Z? And she's like, oh, I don't know. So at one point we go to this area called Gulfport, which my wife had done a little researching on. It's like I say outdoorsy, everything's outdoorsy, but it's like a beachy community where they have like shops along the beach and it's like old houses turn into shops and that kind of stuff. Like, all right, sounds cool. We'll eat lunch and cruise around these shops. Well, she kind of forgot that that's an area that got fucking destroyed by the hurricane 6 months ago. And so almost everything along the beach was closed.
Oh, no.
You had to go like a block in and it just wasn't what it was sold to be. I will say the best brewery in St. Pete that we went to was Gulfport Brewery. Went there for lunch because it's the only place we could find that had enough indoor seating for all of us because we needed the air conditioning. And their beer was pretty not gross.
That sounds like a stellar place in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. So then Saturday it was rainy, like woke up to it pouring, but luckily it mostly stopped by about noon. Saturday was decent. So we on Friday evening, the old people went back to take a nap and we went to Three Daughters Brewing, which I had heard of.
I've had a bunch of Three Daughters stuff at Disney.
Okay. Yeah, I'd heard of them. I think Nicole, when they went out there, they had them. And so I was like, all right, it's right down the street. Let's go fit in a couple beers at $3. And got a flight plus a couple beers. And it was just okay.
It's very best. Okay stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we had a couple. Yeah, we had a couple that were good. We had a couple that were fucking disgusting. And we had one that was like fine. Right in the middle.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, exactly. Even I posted a picture on the gram and Vanessa, responded to it. Hi, Vanessa. And was like, oh, Three Daughters, what did you think? And I was like, we had two that were good. We had two that were bad. And she goes, yep, sounds about right.
Yeah.
So
everything I've ever had. Yep.
Yeah, it was just fine. So Gulfport and Three Daughters, Gulfport was the better brewery. Descent on so Saturday woke up, had breakfast. And then because the old people had left, the wife let me have some beers that day. And so we went to Descent Brewing, which is also in St. Pete. It was fine. Better than Three Daughters. I got a flight and a beer. And it was better than not, pretty good.
Okay.
Here's what I will say about Three Daughters. They did have a coffee blonde ale and it was fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like would purchase, but they didn't have cans.
Oh.
Yeah. So Descent was fine. And then we made our way to Tampa. And this is where the beer finally started to get
I was going to say, Tampa's got Zach goes to Tampa for Tampa Beer Week, right?
Which I totally forgot. And I should have asked him. Now, I got great suggestions from Vanessa and her husband. And I totally forgot Zach's always down there. And he even hit me up after I posted a couple of pictures. Like, are you in Tampa? And I was like, fuck, I should have asked Zach.
Yeah, Zach knows all about that.
Yeah. So I started at Ology. Fantastic beer.
Yep.
So good. In fact, I will say it now. Ology had the best beer I had on the entire trip.
Big words.
Yeah. Really good. Wish we could have just stayed there all day. They didn't have food at the location we were at. And it was our first Tampa brewery. So, of course, we're going to move on. Then we went to Angry Chair. And Vanessa was really pushing that we go to Angry Chair. And I was like, all right. And so the wife was like, girl power, whatever. Vanessa says, Angry Chair, we're going to Angry Chair. Plus we were hungry and they had food. Beer was fine. Same kind of thing. It was like
Big Stouts. I've never heard of anything else by them.
Yeah. And she said that. She goes, hey, they have really good stouts. And I said, look, we're not drinking stouts. It's 90 fucking degrees and way too much humidity. Last thing I want is a fucking stout with my balls sweating. And she goes, no, they still have good beer. It was fine. Didn't have any stouts though. Then we went to Deviant. What? Huh?
I thought you said they didn't have any stouts. You said you didn't have any
We
stouts.
did not. They did. We did not drink them. Then we went to Deviant Brewing, who I guess was known for their sours. And they had a couple of sours in our flight that were really good. Got their hazy pale because, I'm a whore. It tasted like liquid Band-Aid. There were so many off flavors in that thing. It was the worst beer I had on the entire trip.
Oh, that says a lot too.
It was bad, but the couple of sours were pretty decent. So, whatever. Would buy the sours again. And then we ended the night at Cigar City. I know Cigar City's like sort of craft, not really, but they have a big kitchen and it's like, going to what is yours? Lakefront Brewing?
Lakefront. Yeah.
You know what you're going to get. You're going to get some decent beers no matter what.
Yeah. It's not going to be mind blowing, but you're going to drink it and say, yeah, this is a beer.
Yeah, exactly. So went to Cigar City, had dinner. First of all, food was really good. They called them chicharrones. What do you think a chicharron is? What do you think of when you hear chicharron?
I actually have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Like a pork rind or something.
Exactly. It's a pork rind. And they called them pork belly chicharrones. Well, they weren't chicharrones at all. It was legit chunks of pork belly. Like it was like pork belly nuggets and they were giant. They were delicious, first of all. Did not expect it to be this giant plate of pork belly. Thought it was just going to be chicharrones. Fucking delicious, but way too much. And then also got like a salad with that. And food was good. They had a hazy pale on tap, which was not part of their core lineup. And it was delicious. I ordered 2. That's how good it was. So they may not be super crafty, but it was fucking delicious. And I ran a train on those.
Choo choo.
Yeah. Then we went back to the hotel because we had to wake up at 4 a.m. to catch our flight back home.
Oh man.
Yeah. Dude, the first day there, when we got there, the day of the graduation, so fucking tired because obviously did not really sleep on the plane. And all I wanted to do was go back and take a nap. And it was like, no, come to dinner or lunch and pay for your own lunch. And, and then do this. And finally, at one point I told the wife, I was like, I need to go take a nap because I'm getting a little angry.
And nobody wants to see angry Greg.
Exactly. And she was on board too, but she just needed a little prodding. So she's like, all right, we're going to go back to the hotel and take a nap and, don't call us for 3 hours or whatever. So took a nap. And then I was tired the whole trip because that totally threw me off. And then landed on Sunday, was just super, even though it was Sunday and we had the whole day, like super tired. The only direct flight back was at 7 a.m. Florida time. And so
what did you arrive? Like 4 a.m. California time?
So no, you go the other way. So I land, well, not the other way, but yeah, it went up like 2 hours. We landed like just before 9 a.m. California time.
Okay.
Because it would have been 12 Florida time. Because it's like a almost 5 hour flight.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So had the whole day to ourselves Sunday to recover, but I was, took a nap and was tired and still tired the next day and just trying to recover. So anyways,
and traveling just takes it out of you. It does.
That too.
You don't really do anything, but it just takes it out of you.
Yeah.
There's got to be some science behind that.
Probably. Slept so little on this trip. I'm still recovering. So, did not get a gator nor a grenade when I stepped foot onto Florida land. Was really disappointed.
Sound like you actually went to Florida then.
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say maybe Tampa's not Florida, but Tampa's very Florida. Like there was some Florida people there for sure. Here's Florida for you. At the graduation, besides all the old people passing out from the heat, there was a fight in the parking lot afterwards.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Anybody we've told that story to, they're like, oh, well, welcome to Florida.
Stop it.
I swear to God. It's
like, that's a normal occurrence.
I guess there's like, oh yeah, welcome to Florida. It's like, all right, fantastic. So
what's next?
Yeah. So like, did anything horrible happen? I guess not. It was just not, first of all, it was not a vacation. Like when I got back Monday morning, the boss was like, hey, how was your trip? I was like, not a vacation, not relaxing, 0 out of 10 would not recommend.
Yikes.
Yeah. No thanks. Weather fucking sucked. Hey, worst dick weather
Yeah.
ever.
So you texted me that, and I was astounded.
So bad.
I've been to Orlando quite a few times. And I know
we've talked about Orlando's dick weather.
Little discrepancy, in Tampa and Orlando. Orlando's great dick weather.
Yeah.
Like, you want to feel real good about yourself? Go to Orlando.
Yeah, go swinging in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've only been to Orlando in either January or February. So, obviously, not hot.
I've been in January once. It was still pretty nice.
Yeah, still nice. Now, the first time I went was the coldest January they'd ever had on record.
Well, that's not good.
Right. I mean, it's Florida, so that meant like 50s.
Well, it's still not great dick weather.
Yeah. Not great dick weather. No, that's for sure. But all the other times, great dick weather in Orlando. Miami had pretty good dick weather, too, from what I remember. It wasn't that humid.
Okay.
And we were chilling at the beach the whole time, getting drunk. So the dick was swinging.
Super good dick weather there.
Yeah. But St. Pete / Tampa area, I think is looking for a hole to hide in.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was just so bad. It's so hot and muggy. And like I said, it was like living in a fucking mouth. Gross.
I don't want to live in a mouth.
Exactly. Nobody does.
That's actually a really gross way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of, Vegas kind of does this a little bit. Not humid. Vegas is not humid at all. But Vegas, if it's 110 in the day, you'd be walking around at 3 a.m. and it's still like 98 degrees out. It doesn't cool down that much. This was the same. Like, it'd be 90 in the day and humid as fuck. And then we'd be walking around at midnight and it was still like 88, humid as fuck. It's like no reprieve.
It's getting the AC.
Yeah. It's all we could do. And then her sister, the one who lives there, just wanted to like roll down windows in the car and sit outside at bars. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she's not from there. She's from the San Francisco area where it's cold all the time. I was like, I don't care how long you've lived here. This is not okay.
No, rolling your windows down in 98 degree weather, not cool. There's nothing enjoyable about that.
Oh, so bad.
Yeah, let's roll our windows down to turn the heat on. Who? No.
Yeah, is your air conditioner broken? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, grow up.
Oh, so gross. So, hey, don't go to fucking Tampa, I guess, or just Florida in general. I have no need to ever go back. I said something about never coming back to Florida. The wife's like, but I want to go to Disneyland with you someday. I was like, we can do that.
I hope you corrected her and said, you mean Disney World.
Oh, you know what? I bet she said world. This is me. I've been drinking. Yeah. Yeah, Florida sucks. Sorry, Vanessa.
Yeah. You know what? I really enjoy Disney because Disney's not really Florida.
Right. It's a little slice of heaven inside of Florida.
It's a melting pot of heaven. And then, what else we got? We really like Fort Myers. I don't know if you've ever been. Another super touristy town, but
okay,
kind of demolished with the hurricane last year. So, I don't know if it's up and running, if it's not, but that was always a really cool place, and it's real close to the airport.
Okay,
over there. So, any kind of trip from the hotel or the airport to the hotel, it's just super nice.
Okay, I'm looking it up now. All right, so that's pretty south. I mean, that's almost as low as Miami, just on the other coast.
Okay, I didn't realize it was that low.
Yeah, like I'm looking now, like Naples is exactly the same level as Fort.
Yeah, it's near Naples.
Yeah, Naples is exactly the same as Fort Lauderdale, which is just above Miami, and Fort Myers is a little bit above Naples, so it's down there. It's right on with Palm Beach. So yeah, I wonder if the weather's just nicer the souther you go or something. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because like we're in St. Pete and Tampa. It's on the water. It's not like there was no water to be seen. It's just fucking hot as balls.
Interesting.
It's awful. Never again. # never again. America.
Damn it.
So yeah, that was Florida. I never need to go back to St. Pete / Tampa.
What a trip.
Yeah. Can't wait to never do it again. I feel like my dad. My dad hates traveling. I just hate Florida.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like traveling.
Yeah, I do too. I like it a lot, actually.
I don't do it enough, but
same.
Man, when I get out to somewhere new, I'm looking for all the cool places to go and anywhere that's not a chain. And
right,
I don't ask people to pay for their own lunch.
Like I said, totally fine. paying for it. It just was weird. It's like, hey, come to this thing that I have organized, but also pay for your own lunch. Like, okay. Didn't know that's how it worked. Man, it's Florida tradition.
Maybe.
Oh, Flex's face. He just took another sip.
Shh. I'm trying to finish it. Right?
All right. Before I went on way too long. I'm sorry. That was just a big, too long didn't read version. Florida sucks. Before I talk about my beer, let's talk ludicrous libation law. It's been a while.
Yeah, really has.
Take a trip up to your hood, Minnesota.
Well,
Next to your hood.
don't confuse people.
Hood adjacent.
Hood adjacent. I like that. What a term.
Yeah. Apparently, public intoxication is specifically not a crime.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, in a lot of places, if you're just drunk in public, that's a crime. You can't be drunk in public. It goes on to say, while merely being intoxicated in public is not a crime under state law, the behavior associated with intoxication can lead to criminal charges, such as disorderly conduct, offensive, obscene, or noisy behavior. But I mean, that's everywhere. The fact that you can be drunk in public is amazing. Just handle your shit and keep your shit together.
Right. Because here it's definitely not okay.
Right. Yeah, here it's super not okay.
I had a buddy come over one summer for, a couple cans and have a good time. Then he rode his bike, and it was probably like a 2-mile bike ride from his house. And the topic of conversation came up, and it's like, hey, like, even if you get caught drunk on your bike, like, that's still a ticket.
Right.
So like, it
shouldn't be, but yes.
Right. It shouldn't, because you're not driving.
You're only endangering yourself.
Right. You're not endangering others. But yeah, still a legit citation. And, so it's like, what, I guess the lesser of two evils, if you want to put it, at that.
A lot of places, the punishment for like riding your bike while drunk is the same as driving a car,
which is mind blowing.
That's bullshit. I'm totally against. You should be encouraged to not get behind a vehicle.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Walk, ride your bike. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
who cares?
All right. After all that Florida bitching, I need a beer.
He calls to the bullpen for
beer.
I am drinking out of Colorado, Outer Range Brewing, Sunrise Dreams. This is a gorgeous hazy IPA.
Looks
6 point.
Very nice.
Yeah, the right color, unlike last week. 6.7%, has a 413 on Untapped out of 646 ratings. And it says nothing but hops, Nelson and Citra, ABV 6.7. That's the description.
Amazing hops.
Great hops. That's all it says. Let's see. On the nose buds, fairly light. Picking up some citrus. Yeah, just real light. Citrusy oranginess on the schnoz. Let's dig in with the old tongue jobber. Oh, much better than your beer.
I'm not jealous at all.
Yeah. This, in the best way possible, is like orange juice. The Nelson and Citra are shining. It's orangey and citrusy. It is not coating the tongue. It's just finishing dry. This is a good daddy.
Damn.
I'd drink this again. I'd buy this again.
Damn.
I'd buy a whole 4-pack.
There it is.
Yep. I'll be in Colorado next month. Maybe I could find me some more to do.
I'm one jealous daddy over here, let me tell you.
Jealous daddy. This is good. Outer Range Brewing. I feel like I've had something from them before, but I've not. I must have, right?
I've definitely had a beer or two from these guys before.
Okay. I guess I could look it up before we did this, but I think I've seen them on the Tavor before. And this is another one of those Tavor beers. And if this is good coming from Tavor, imagine how good it is, not coming from Tavor. Let me search for it real quick. Nothing's popping up on the show archive.
I haven't had any Outer Range on the show. I think I've had Outer Range before.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying.
I see. All right. A little news before we get out of here. First, don't forget this week, June 14th, is Topa Topa's 10th anniversary. If you're out in our hood, stop by on Saturday. Come say hi and
be there. Be square, you idiot.
Yeah. Don't be square. Be circle. All right. 6 of the 10 largest craft brewers shed volume in 2024. According to the Brewers Association latest update in the New Brewer magazine, 6 of the top 10 craft breweries actually lost volume in 2024. Craft beer overall dropped 4% last year, down to 23.1 million barrels. Now, that's not entirely unexpected, but here's what stings. The big regional players, those pumping out over 15,000 barrels a year, were actually down just 3%, which suggests the smaller guys are doing all right. It's the big names dragging the averages. So some of those names are Yuengling, which I did have in Florida. I was like, ooh.
It's just whatever, though.
It's just
right?
whatever. But I saw it at a bar, and I was like, you know what? I'm in Florida. I got to have a Yuengling.
I had it at the old time diner at fucking Hollywood Studios.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, man, why do people talk so much about this?
Yeah. But I had to do it.
But that's why I had it, because I had to do it.
I had one in close to a decade, probably. Yuengling still sitting on the throne at number 1. Did see an 8% dip, which is over 230,000 fewer barrels than the year before. Boston Beer took the hardest hit of them all. They lost more than 320,000 barrels in volume.
Which they claim they have the number 1 light beer in America. I don't know if you ever seen the commercials.
Which one is that?
Sam
Adams Light or something?
Yeah, but it's got like a catchier name than Sam Adams Light.
Oh.
Wish I could remember. I saw a commercial for it right before we did the show, but now I don't care about it. So
is it Van Duzer Light?
Attention, Van Duzers!
But Sierra Nevada, on the other hand, is up 2% year over year. Not a huge jump, but at least they're not losing barrels like the other companies. Tilray dropped 13%, which is about 114,000 less barrels. Athletic Brewing, unfortunately, keeps growing. They're up 55%, adding over 140,000 barrels.
55%.
Yeah, stop drinking NA beer, you guys. It's just wasted calories.
By the way, the Sam Adams one is just called American Light.
Oh, yes. I've heard of that one.
There we go.
May have even had it at some point. So anyways, there you have it. Nerdy numbers for you. Speaking of real American beer, Hulk Hogan's beer brand, trying to buy Hooters.
Jesus.
Think about it. Is there a better white trash match in heaven? Made in heaven?
It just makes sense. Like if the shoe fits, right?
Right. If the big boot fits, drop it.
Damn it.
Just weeks after Hooters of America filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Hooters of America.
Hooters of America. Apparently that's the name. Hogan's Beer Company, Real American Beer, is planning a bid for the Hooters name, according to a report from Business Insider. The bid would focus solely on acquiring the brand's intellectual property, not the restaurants themselves. If successful, the deal would give Real American Beer the rights to create Hooters branded products
of America,
including beverages, food items, and merchandise. Those products would be distributed at Hooters restaurants, retail stores, entertainment venues, and other locations nationwide. A person familiar with the company's plans told Business Insider that Hooters has always been a big part of Hogan's life. I bet it has.
Jeez.
Why? Because he likes wings? Both Hogan and Hooters got their start in Clearwater, Florida, and Hogan still lives in the area. Of course he's from Florida, by the way. The plan would involve licensing the Hooters name back to the restaurants, allowing them to continue operating independently while the brand itself would be used more broadly for product distribution. The bid is expected to be an all-cash offer, though the total amount has not been disclosed. While Hogan isn't looking to operate restaurants, he does have experience in the hospitality industry. He currently runs Hogan's Hangout, a bar near the beach in Clearwater, which I have heard of. I have not heard of this one, though. In the 90s, he briefly opened a pasta-themed restaurant called Pasta Mania in Minnesota.
That's brilliant.
I did not know this.
I think that is brilliant. How did that not last?
Right? At this point, the deal is still in flux and other buyers could emerge, but if this moves forward, the partnership could give the Hooters brand a new lease on life, this time with a side of real American beer.
So what was the place called?
Pasta Mania?
Clearwater? No, in Clearwater.
Oh, Hogan's Hangout.
So my wife's cousin, coworker of mine, his girlfriend's grandfather lives in Clearwater, and they go there like once a year to vacation and help him out.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me a picture. There's like Hulk Hogan statues all over the boardwalk. And he actually hosts a karaoke night. I don't know if I've said this on the show before, but he hosts a karaoke night at his bar and the champion of the karaoke night gets a belt.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's just kind of brilliant.
That is pretty good.
But yeah, he's a big deal down there.
Yeah. They must like racist assholes down there. It is Florida after all.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I just Googled Pastamania and I found a picture of an old menu. One of the items on the menu is Hulk's Power Pasta, which is penne pasta, chicken, veggies, and your choice of sauce.
Sounds pretty powerful.
Brother. That's the only, there's no pun on any of the pasta names.
Well, that's what I was hoping for. I thought you were going to give me something real good.
Oh, except, okay, this is good. For the little, the kids menu is called For the Little Pasta Maniacs.
Damn it.
They have Hulkios, which must be like SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs? Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds awful. Cheeseburger pasta. And my favorite, Hulkaroni and cheese.
Damn it. That's so good.
So dumb.
Should have been like Hulk Getty and meatballs or something like that.
Pythons and pasta.
Chicken Hulk Fredo or just everything with Hulk in front of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Hulk
good.
lasagna.
I don't know how you top Hulkaroni and cheese though.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, and here's a flyer from their grand opening where you got a free beverage with any purchase of pasta. Oh, this is so good. Ringside dishes, pasta, side sauce, salad. Good times. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna close this page now. Here's a Florida story for you. Drunk driver urinates in cop car after hitting a bystander with vehicle outside of a strip club. I feel like the headline alone is enough.
That is so on brand. I couldn't come up with a better headline myself.
Mm-hmm. A Lakeland man was arrested for hitting a vehicle and a bystander while fleeing from a deputy after drinking at a strip club. A deputy spotted a large crowd, later found to include 49-year-old Terrence Christopher Phillips. Come on, Terrence and Phillip in the same name. In the parking lot of Club 27 Cabaret. The deputy pulled into the median of the highway and saw multiple people who appeared to be in a verbal altercation. At that point, he informed dispatch of the situation and approached the crowd in his patrol vehicle with emergency lights on. A female witness approached him and stated a man, later identified as Phillips, struck her vehicle and was trying to leave the property. The deputy observed Phillips in a black Toyota SUV trying to flee the parking lot. He approached the passenger side of the vehicle and tried to open the door as Phillips continued to drive away. Phillips put the vehicle in reverse and forward, directing the vehicle toward a man who was standing in the parking lot. Phillips then struck the man and continued to flee. He drove behind the strip club and headed south on the grass towards the High Grove subdivision. The deputy chased toward the vehicle as it continued to flee from him. Phillips drove behind the establishment towards the deputy, who drew a firearm and told him to stop. He did not listen, instead making a right turn onto U.S. Highway 27 and heading towards Polk County. The deputy gave dispatch a description of the vehicle, which had multiple stickers on the back and possibly purple headlights in the front. What do you mean possibly? Were they purple or were they not purple?
Jeez.
As the deputy returned to the incident location, he saw Phillips' vehicle passing the establishment again, heading towards the U.S. Highway 27. He notified other responding deputies who found the vehicle and administered a felony stop at a Wendy's. They then detained Phillips, according to the report. The first deputy subsequently met with the man who was struck by Phillips. He had abrasions on his nose and face, and his thumb bled profusely.
Come on.
The Lake County Fire Department and Lake County EMS responded to that scene to treat his injuries, took him to the Celebration Hospital. The deputy moved on to speak with a male witness who advised that his girlfriend, the female witness, told him Phillips struck her vehicle while trying to leave the parking lot. He intervened by taking Phillips' keys, preventing him from leaving. He gave them back per the establishment manager's request. The strip club was like, give him back his fucking keys. Phillips became hostile and used arbitrary racial language towards the male witness and other people in the parking lot. He got into his vehicle and tried to leave while the deputy demanded he step out. The male witness saw him drive forward, hitting the victim, and then leaving the scene. Phillips was then arrested. While en route, he used derogatory and racial language towards African Americans, Mexicans, and Puerto Ricans.
Oh.
Why not? He also maneuvered his hands to the front and took out his penis to urinate on the floor of the deputy's patrol vehicle.
Does that
Maybe should have cuffed him a little better. Yeah.
Real winners out there.
Yeah. He later gave 2 breath samples of surprisingly low.
Like a 1.4?
Not that low. 0.178.
Okay.
That's just a little over double. He's whipping out his dick in a cop car. The New York native was charged with aggravated battery with deadly weapon without intent to kill, resisting arrest without violence, and DUI second offense.
Yeah. I've been really drunk before. You know, like
super drunk.
Really drunk.
I guarantee I've been a lot drunker than 0.178.
And I mean, like we do a lot of stories, right? A lot of stories. Never once when I was ever as drunk as I've ever been have I ever thought to do any of these things.
Right.
Maybe people are just crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've gotten drunk and I've fallen off a balcony. What else have I done? All kinds of stupid shit. But I've never tried to hit people with my car or even get into my car, piss in the back of a cop car.
Yeah. I don't get it. Like these people cannot be of sound mind already.
There's some underlying shit for sure.
And then they get inebriated and it just fucking skyrockets.
When you add booze to Florida, that's what you get.
You get Florida. Actually.
You get extra Florida.
Yeah.
Would you like Florida or extra Florida?
Extra crispy Florida.
Crispy daddy.
Daddy.
All right. I think that's where we end it. We've talked enough about Florida. Thanks for letting me bitch about my trip.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It felt good to get it off the old chest.
It felt nice to listen to.
Yeah, I've been holding it in because, like, there's only so much I want to bitch to the wife because, I still want to remain married.
I feel that.
Yeah, it's her family, so I can only say so much. So hopefully her or her family listens to the show. They probably don't. All right, we'll have a little music. I'll tell you all to find us, craftbeerrepublic.com, at craftbeerrepublic on the socials, at flexmebeer, underscores in between, 805-53-BEER. That's it. I hope everyone is staying very well hydrated.
And on that note.
And a good night, everybody.